Hi Gemini, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of September. The month of August had both very Uranian and Aquarian energy because at the end of July, on July 28th, Jupiter, which is the grand benefic, re-entered the fixed air sign of Aquarius, and it will be there until December 29th. And this expands the Aquarian and Uranian energy because Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. And for you, it's transiting in your house of children and romance and love affairs, helping you to reevaluate how you can expand that area of your life. But you add to that the Sun, Mercury, and Venus were all transiting in the fixed fire sign of Leo and squaring Uranus in Taurus, and this brought very unpredictable and Uranian energy. And then Uranus stationed direct on August 19th at 5 days of the fixed earth sign of Taurus, and we felt that 5 days before and 5 days after. For you, Uranus is transiting in your house of dreams, endings, and the subconscious mind, as well as spirituality. Hopefully it's giving you an awakening of how you can be more spiritual, how you can achieve your dreams, and maybe helping you to let go of things in a quick and fast way that no longer serve you, that are maybe draining you unconsciously. So now we get into the month of September, and we've got the Sun and Mars transiting in the mutable earth sign of Virgo in your house of home and emotional foundation. And Mars takes approximately 2 years to transit, and it's where the action and activity of the chart is. And so for you, taking action to ensure that your needs get met, that your family's needs get met, if you have your own business, being really busy at home and getting things accomplished. The Sun brings levity and shines wherever it's transiting, so shining in your house of home. And then Venus and Mercury are both transiting in the cardinal air sign of Libra in your house of romance and creativity and joy and children. And Venus is in its dignity in Libra. It loves being there. And Mercury is going to retrograde at the end of the month at 25 degrees of Libra and set off the Venus retrograde story from the fall of 2018. Because at that time, Venus retrograded at 10 degrees of Scorpio on October 5th and stationed direct on November 17th, just at 25 degrees of Libra. This gives you an opportunity to reevaluate how you can make your heart happy, what makes your heart sing, how you can be creative, how you can find joy in a very sad world. And so that is another opportunity to focus. Mercury is the ruler of your sign, so you resonate very strongly with Mercury influences and are very familiar with Mercury retrograde. So at the beginning of September, on September 2nd, Mars opposes Neptune at 1:43 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And for you, that could bring confusion or potential deception at work or at home, or feeling very drained and tired. It's a day to maybe get rest. On September 4th, Mercury, which rules your sign and is the planet of communication, beautiful trine to Saturn at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that helps to bring strong and productive creativity and solidify what you're trying to accomplish. It's good for negotiations for you and commitment. On September 5th, Venus squares Pluto at 11:07 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that can be more contentious. It could bring endings or breakups. Venus is squaring in your house of romance, but it could be a bit painful or difficult energy. Good for doing healing work around what does not serve you emotionally. On September 6th, it's a new moon, and they're very positive influences. Mars forms a beautiful trine to Pluto at 8:20 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that can be very healing for you. Those are both the rulers of Scorpio and your house of transformation, and Mars is transiting in your house of core and emotional foundation, really finding the courage to empower yourself. Then at 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time, Venus forms a beautiful trine to Jupiter. Those are the two benefics of the zodiac. Venus is transiting in your house of love and joy. Jupiter is transiting in your house of hope, bringing a lot of hope to the equation. And then the new moon occurs at 8:52 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 14 degrees and 28 minutes of the mutable earth sign of Virgo in your house of home and foundation. Set intentions about getting your needs met, about helping yourself and your family, and centering yourself. Later that day, the sun trines Uranus, and that can be very innovative and creative energy, and that occurs at 9:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So that's a very innovative and creative and positive new moon. Really set intentions that day. On September 7th, Mercury opposes Chiron, the wounded healer, at 11:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on September 8th at 2:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that can be help to bring perspective on how you can heal, and it actually could be helpful. And then on September 10th, Venus enters the fixed water sign of Scorpio at 4:39 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and will be there until October 7th. And it's transiting in your house of work and habits and daily routine. And this is a good influence for getting your space organized where you work, for getting clutter, for fixing up your appearance, or working out and getting in shape, things like that. But it's helpful for getting organized in a creative way, perhaps. Then on September 14th, the sun opposes Neptune at 5:21 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That could bring or a bit of confusion emotionally or at work. It can be very creative. And later at 8:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Mars, which is the planet of action, enters the cardinal air sign of Libra, where it will be until October 30th in your house of romance and creativity and love. Again, if you're single, this will bring a lot of energy for meeting people, having some fun, for romantic opportunities, good for being creative, good for being joyful with that energy. And then on September 16th, the sun trines Pluto, and that's a very empowering energy and helpful energy. And then on that same day, Venus squares Saturn, and there can be a bit of a reality check with that, how you can ground what makes you happy or what you love. And sometimes we need that reality check. And then on September 20th, the moon meets Neptune at 7:39 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we're building up to a full moon, and the moon in Pisces is already very emotional and sensitive, very dreamy and creative. For you, this moon is occurring in your house of career and life goals. Mercury forms a trine to Jupiter at 6:53 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that could be helpful for coming up with intellectual solutions to things. It gives more optimism if you're feeling emotional. And then the full moon occurs at 7:53 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 28 degrees and 14 minutes of the mutable watch of Pisces. For you, it occurs in career and public image to bring fruition the things you've been working on. But the full moon at this degree is on the fixed star known as Shiat. And that is a fixed star associated with the Titanic, with shipwrecks and loss and misfortune. So a lot of us can feel lost emotionally and just, all over, just feeling very abandoned. Tap into that in terms of feeling, mourning the loss we're all feeling collectively. Also tap into Mercury, the ruler of your sign, trining Jupiter in Aquarius, which brings solutions through connecting with others and through innovation. And don't forget of tapping into that optimism in this time. And then on September 22nd, it's the day of the equinox, when the sun crosses the celestial equator and in the northern hemisphere heads south and forms begins the fall season, and in the southern hemisphere begins the spring season, heads north. And this is a time that we honor what the next few months has in store. And the equinox chart has Capricorn ascendant at approximately 14 degrees of Capricorn, which speaks back to where Saturn is stationed direct in September of 2018. Bringing us to what we want to achieve. Eris, the goddess of discord, is at 24 degrees of Aries, and it's squaring Pluto, the cosmic compost, what we need to eliminate in order to fight and have courage to what we think is right and to have integrity. Venus is opposite Uranus within a degree, which could bring breakthroughs and breakups, but also very innovative and creative energy. And it's an intense energy that day. Mercury squaring Pluto happens at 9:12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that could bring power struggles in communication. It's excellent for uncovering things and doing research, but it can be emotional and emotionally intense, and just holding on to the fact that we need to keep going with all of this, and then on the 23rd, Venus opposes Uranus, and that can bring a very innovative and creative energy, but it can also be disruptive and bring out of the blue breakups or people into our lives out of the blue as well. But it's, whatever you think it is, it will be something else. On September 25th, Mars forms a beautiful trine to Pluto at 5:50 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that's good for getting things accomplished and transforming your action at home and romantically and creatively, and fighting for what you love. On September 26th, the big news is that Mercury, ruler, stations retrograde at 10:10 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time in your house of creativity and love, and it will station direct on October 18th. It will exit Libra altogether on November 6th. So again, it's setting off maybe things you were working on in the fall of 2018 when Venus was tracing these degrees. And then let's see here, on the 29th of September, Venus forms a beautiful trine to Neptune at 12:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, and that's a very loving and beautiful energy. And then on that same day, the sun forms a trine to Saturn, which brings stability and helps solidify things. And then on September 30th, Venus squares Jupiter at 7:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that could bring an excess of energy. It could be a lot of fun or creative for you. I don't think it's difficult because it's the two benefics and they're triggering one another. I wish you a lot of luck. We've got Mercury stationing retrograde at the end of the month, bringing a lot of opportunity to reassess what makes you happy and how you can be creative and loving in this difficult time. And we have 3 outer planets still retrograde: Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, and they will station direct in October. I wish you luck, Gemini, and thank you.